For this project, we selected a company named Sierra Negra Berries. This is a company dedicated to cultivating and packaging export quality blueberries located in Atlisco, Puebla. In the ranch, I made a one-semester internship in which I collected important quality data that we will use to demonstrate the applications of statistical quality control. We decided to use a P chart, which is an attribute control chart used with data that is collected in subgroups of different sizes. And this chart shows a proportion of non-conforming items instead of the actual count. These graphs show us how the process varies over time. The problem statement is that the harvest fruit must undergo careful quality control to ensure certain standards are met. The packaging team must check the color, consistency, size, and cleanliness of the berries. If these standards determined by the customer aren't met, the fruit must be returned or even destroyed. This means a substantial losses for the company. The company has established a maximum limit of defective to be 5%, and the fruit is checked in two instances, one after harvesting to compute the number of kilograms produced and one after the defective units are separated. These two measurements allow us to make a percentage of defective calculation.
To make this graph, we used 61 subgroups that were taken on different days. We elaborated a table to place the number of defects and the percentage to which it will be equivalent with respect to the total production of that day. In order to make the graph, we first obtained the data of P, N, and P times 1 minus P. After that, we obtained the different control limits using the formulas that are presented on the screen. The control limits that we obtained were: for the low control limit, we have 0, the central control limit is 0.06, and the upper control limit is 0.11. In the P graph, we can see that according to the calculations we obtained, the process is within control, with the exception of one point that exceeds the percentage of defectives allowed. In conclusion for this work, we can say that Sierra Negra Berries S.A.D.C.B., where the information used to prepare this investigation was collected, is a company that, according to our calculations, the process remains in control, with the exception of one of our points that exceed the upper control limit with a percentage of defects of 40%. However, according to the requirements and the maximum limit of the company, which was established at 5%, it could be said that many of our subgroups exceed that limit. However, as it is a natural harvest process, we do not have much control over the percentage of defects. Some improvements could be made, such as being more careful when harvesting, looking for a way to cover the plants to prevent their deterioration, among other things. And after making these changes, do an analysis again and see if the percentage of defects decreases. Finally, we can say that we successfully carry out our project using the tools that we saw in statistical quality control class.